Are you ready for bloodshed? Hey everybody, this is Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. Coming to you from my deep underground bunker. Now this is a new edition. I talked about it on Patreon. Links in the description below if you want to check it out there. It's $1 a month. Well worth it. Hundreds and hundreds of exclusive content. Join Team AP over on Patreon. Anyway, yes. Are you ready for bloodshed? It is coming. We've already seen increased violence lately because of Supreme Court rulings. People that have bought into the division, that have allowed the division, the narrative of division, to be a big part of their lives. First off, don't play into the division. Second off, prepare to defend yourselves. If you're living in an area where there is rioting, mostly peaceful protests, if cities start burning to the ground, I've said for years, get out of the cities. Well, you're still there, so I know, circumstances, I get it. Some people just, they're where they are and they have to be there. I don't want to be where I'm at necessarily, but for some reason, he wants us here. I guess somebody's got to stay and fight, right? Everybody can't just jump ship, abandon ship. Some people got to stick around and try to save the ship. The closer you are to a major city, especially the cesspool cities, you will be much more likely to feel the effects of what's going to happen and what's going on. I've also talked for quite a while about the ability to protect and defend yourself with defensive tools, having proper gear, having seeds to feed your defensive tools, having the seed holders, but mostly training and practice. Get training. If you don't have training now and you're in a situation where you will be the defender, then you need training. And then, once you receive proper training, you have to practice, practice, practice. You need thousands of repetitions for things to be fluid. Mindset is key also. You have to have the ability to adapt and overcome in a fluid, dynamic situation. What do you do if you're caught in a mostly peaceful protest? A riot. People are attacking people. People are burning stuff down. People are looting. Well, the best thing I say is to get out of there. First, avoid the situation. You don't want to be in the middle of a riot? Well, don't go where the riots are. Just stay away from them. Stay away from urban centers, if you can. If you can't, try to stay away from the urban centers when most of the problems happen, which is at night, right? Well, if you work a night shift downtown in a city or something like that, well, maybe you can't avoid it. But situational awareness is key. Knowing what is going on, where it is going on, and why it's going on are key to avoidance. The best thing to do is just stay out of their way. Unless you're in a situation where they're in your neighborhood or they're in your building and they are attacking, damaging people, and you need to defend your property and or other people's property. That may be the case. AKA Kyle, protecting other people's property. But remember also that property is just things. Things can be replaced. Your life cannot be replaced. So make sure you really weigh the options and the need for defending whatever you think you need to defend before you do it. Is that worth giving your life for or not? We are the most valuable thing here and in our lives. Ourselves, our families, our friends, our tribe, our communities. People matter. And our lives are very important. So, I've also talked a lot in the past, especially on Patreon. I already talked about Patreon, links in the description below, about a lot of stuff about how to secure your home, how to secure your neighborhood, done videos on that on Patreon. Talked about, defensive tactics, a lot of stuff. Most of it's over there though, because this platform isn't good for that kind of stuff. Yeah, the big evil C word that's anti-first. Yeah, it happens. You guys know what happens. I'm just here trying to empower you guys. I know that you know what's going on out there. I'm probably a very low information person compared to most of you. I don't watch TV. I don't watch the news. I don't scroll around news feeds. I don't really watch YouTube. Hardly ever. I don't get that much time because I'm always busy. Like right now I'm sweating my butt off because I was hauling up a bunch of ashes from junk we burned in our lower field. Blackberry bushes and stuff like that we trimmed, and a bunch of other stuff. And I was bringing those ashes up to try to fill up my last of my raised beds that I just built with a bunch of good organic material before I throw the dirt in, the topsoil. But yeah, so I'm out doing the things. Like I said, it's really hot here today too. It's 91 degrees. And yeah, for this area, for Western Washington, that's very hot. Not as hot as it got last summer, but very hot. So another thing is water. Actually, that's a different topic. I say watering the garden. Make sure your garden's watered well, especially when it gets hot. But if you haven't started thinking about your defensive strategy for your house and or property or whatever it may be, you got to start now. And also, especially with increased violence on the horizon, and starting now, maybe happening right now, get your stuff, make sure your stuff is squared away to bug out, to get out of there, to get out of Dodge if you have to. Because if that stuff erupts and you're like in urban area or suburban area or whatever, and that stuff erupts in your area, in your neighborhood, then you may want to think about getting out. If the situation is getting so ugly that it's untenable anymore, yeah. There's a time and a place to fight, and there's a time and a place to flee. Or my grandpa used to say, it's a dumb man, or no, I forget, I forget how it goes. Something about like, dumb man that lets himself take a beating when he has the ability to run or something like that, or no. Sometimes the best option is just to get out. Like going back to what's your life worth? A lot of situations, like say, if I was in a location where, and a lot of people like jump, they have this false bravado. They think they're all bad A, and they think they're all like tougher than they are, and they have this self-important image of, like say, two guys are fighting in the street or something, people are shooting at each other or something like that, and then these yahoos jump in and be like, oh yeah, jump in, and they just start shooting at one side. Well, how do you know what side's right? How do you know which side is the good guys or which side's the bad guys? If somebody's losing a fight, doesn't necessarily mean that they're the good guy. So you step in to help them, maybe that dude just took out the other dude's whole family or something. It's one of those things. It's just, I'm trying to, pull myself away from dependence on society and society in general. Not tribe, that's totally different. Than society in general. Because, really, my family needs me here. They're not worth my life. My family is worth my life. My tribe is worth my life. There are few that are worth my life, that I would give my life for. Get this kind of stuff squared away in your mind also. Your tripwires. What do I do if? What do I do when? Am I willing to do this? Do I have the mindset or the guts to do this? Make sure your properties, your houses, especially if you're in a higher threat area, are secure. Windows barred, doors locked and barred if you have them. Fire extinguishers on hand, lots of fire extinguishers on hand, hoses on hand, because if they go through to start burning stuff, you're going to have to put it out. It's going to grow very quickly beyond the capacity of fire departments to put them out. I don't know. It's sad that we live in times like this, and it's also, I guess, a blessing. Maybe we were put here. I believe I was put here in this time for some reason. It's got to be. Because I was born, 2, 3, 4 generations too late. The way I look at it, I'm pretty old school. But be ready for it, people. I love you guys. I care about you. I want you to succeed. I want you to get through this. Yeah, this is probably going to be the summer of bloodshed. I hope it isn't. I hope we're all wrong. I hope the idiots stop burning our cities. But the odds are it's not. And pretty soon we're going to start the whole election cycle. And there'll be more madness and chaos revolving that also. So, yeah. Just be smart. Be ready. Equipped, trained, and practiced up in your defensive tactics and plans. I hope all is well, and I love you guys. Have a wonderful day, and blessings to you and yours.